Hey everybody, Shane here, daily-astrocat.com, and today is Saturday, or I like to call it Catterday, right? It's the 25th of April, so here I am bringing my astrology into your world, right? Astrology for everybody, astrology to learn by. Today, the moon is in Leo. Now, this is a focused moon. By focused moon, I mean there's no aspects the moon has up until 12:33 and today, and I go by East Coast times. So what that means is we have our moon focused on Leo, right? Dramatic, expressive, courageous, and at times could be very vain, right? Yep, could be. We all get to get a little bit of that, right? We get that from the moon. That's what the mood is for the day, right? That mood is for drama. You're going to see people out there in their Instagram voices out shopping and stuff like that, trying to look for attention, almost like they have a camera on them. Anyway, yeah, I've noticed that a lot lately. Now, there's no rest for the wicked, because let's think about it. Because the nature of Uranus and that anaretic degree of Taurus, and if you're new to the channel, that's the 29th degree, is called the anaretic degree. It kind of brings out the less attractive qualities of a sign and kind of like accentuates that just for a little bit, right? So it made itself felt quite literally in my 3D world. What are you talking about, Shane? Well, that Uranus instability regarding money and stuff like that, yeah, it caused an issue, and it's going to cause a lot of work. It means, honestly, it means a longer period for a specific, promotion, let's call it that, that ended and then began again, right? And it ended but it didn't really end. They just didn't tell anybody, right? Right. So everybody thought it was glitched because the paperwork they came out with said that it was a different percentages and stuff like that. So, look, now I just have to go back and unburn some bridges that I may have already crossed, just because I was getting ready to go into that lesser promotional period. So the Sun square Pluto is also pointing at this and laughing. See what you did? Now, the Sun, this change that we prepared for was reinstated after the one day. So, now we're going to backpedal and try to make this make sense. Okay. Uranus entering Gemini gives us a better than average chance of concocting a great sounding story. So guess what? It's just the way it is, right? Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. So Uranus enters Gemini at 8:50 in the evening. So real work can begin after the moon enters Virgo at 9:04 in the evening. And simultaneously, the moon is also going to square Uranus. So, oh boy, of course we frame everything as an effort to try and help this in the best possible way. Yes, we're just trying to help. We're just trying to help, regardless of what the underlying confusion is. And today's keyword is testing, because that sounds like a test, right? And the color is coral rose. We wanted stability and a steady path. Venus and Uranus are not delivering that. Nope. Not this Taurus season, not at this point in this Taurus season. Instead, we have had to change course multiple times, kind of like a sailboat tacking into the wind, right? I'm going back and forth and back and forth. And look, this is testing our patience and our ability to adapt, which is something that Gemini is pretty excellent at, right? So that Uranus and Venus now in Gemini, they should be better able to adapt, but it was a rough crossing getting into there, right? That choppy water. This won't settle well for Taurus or Capricorn, And Aquarius and Scorpios, look, you prefer a steadier approach. Look, however, the bold, the few, the proud, Mercury and Mars are blindfolded and tied to the mast. Our way out this morning is through sheer pluck and bravery. That's right. Tie yourself to the mast, blindfolded, onward. Now, that focused moon will make it seem like it's all our fault. It's going to be focused right on us, right? We've got Leo energy, and it's, hey, I'm here. You. All right, so it really seemed to work that way. The story that we begin telling will be very important, as your success hinges upon how well you deliver this message. Bonkers, right? I don't want to work all weekend. I want to make an appearance, bask in the applause, and have the world greet me with open arms. Then reality arrives in the form of the moon in Virgo. Pay attention to health signals. There were 2 massive X-class solar flares. That would have occurred on Friday that knocked out shortwave radio in the Pacific. And you know what? Those flares can make you experience headaches, a little bit of nausea, or have your ears ringing. My ears are ringing like nobody's business right now. They've been doing it all night long. So we can get down to the business at hand. Travel is going to be tricky. Oh, Uranus. Uranus, Mercury, travel. So allow yourself more time. Schedule more time. You got to make time for this fuckery because there's no other word for it, right? It's just fuckery. Pay close attention to nonverbal cues. Remember that the moon in Virgo is fascinated with all things it can't quite fully understand. It's as if we use detail-oriented Virgo to test the current physical facts to get to the metaphysical underpinnings. So, not a lot to elaborate on there because that pretty much says everything I needed to say. In 1507, the German cartographer Martin Waldseemüller is the first to use the name America on his world map, Universalis Cosmographia. And our birth is in 1900. It is a gentleman by the name of Wolfgang Pauli. He's a Swiss-American theoretical physicist, the Pauli inhibition. And he's won the Nobel Prize in 1945 in physics. Born in Vienna, in Austria-Hungary, and he died in 1958. The Pauli effect was named after his anecdotal. Now, there's a Pauli effect, right? There's a Pauli exclusion principle, the Pauli inhibition, and he's a huge name in quantum physics. There was something known as the Pauli effect, which was named after his anecdotal bizarre ability to break experimental equipment simply by being in its vicinity. Yeah, all right. Pauli was aware of his reputation and was delighted whenever the Pauli effect manifested. These strange occurrences were in line with his controversial investigations into the legitimacy of parapsychology, particularly his collaboration with Carl Jung on synchronicity. Interesting people, right? That's what I'm fascinated by. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys are equally fascinated. It's just so much fun to have everybody here. Love all the comments. Keep them coming. The more personal they are, the more personal I get back, right? It's just perfect, just fine. Do what you have to do. And sometimes I'll just say thank you and throw you a little string of emojis. I use the same ones every time. And that's all I have for you. So let's recap, shall we? The keyword is testing. And the color is coral rose. Today is a 5. Happy astrocatting.